Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Zoro Ordinary, aka Just Ordinary. Now in today's video, we're going to be talking about how strong I think Rayleigh was in his prime. But before we get to that, I want to get something out of the way first.
I'm stronger than you. My bitch thicker than yours. My gun's bigger than yours. Nigga, my gun's bigger than yours. I talk better than you. I hustle better. I can get $1 quicker than you. I talk better. I walk better. My shoes fit me better. I get paid more than you.
Now that I got that off my chest, we can talk about the right-hand man of the King of Pirates and the mentor of the future King of Pirates, Silver's Rayleigh. Also known as Dark King Rayleigh. He's one of few characters in the series. When they appear, they send shivers down every character's spine. His mere presence is enough to have both Yonkos and Admiral shook. He had supernova like Kid and Law, sweating just from his appearance alone. Rayleigh's compared to legends like Whitebeard by other legends like Garp, who was said to go toe-to-toe with the Pirate King. So throughout the video, I'm gonna go over his strength feats, his Haki feats, his portrayal feats, his speed feats, any feat you can think of we're gonna be talking about. As for strength, Rayleigh's no character to scoff at. He was able to swim across a combat which can hold sea kings that can reach sizes so large they can be compared to islands, making it almost impossible to sail through the combat if you either aren't strong enough to handle them or have sea stone attached to your ship the same way the Navy does. Rayleigh not only swam across the combat, but he was fighting sea kings while doing so, which the Heart Pirates noticed when they were docked off of Amazon Lily. Speaking of beasts, Rayleigh went mono on mono with Navy Admiral Kizaru and speed blitzed him to save Zoro. Not only is that a testament to Rayleigh's strength, but also his Haki. Rayleigh in his fight with Kizaru was able to draw blood from him, which we hadn't seen yet in the series. Every time we had seen a Navy Admiral fight, they seemed untouchable because of their Logia abilities. Even though Rayleigh acknowledged that his old age had slowed him down, Kizaru commended him for being able to hold him off. In a way, I think Rayleigh was implying that if he wasn't so old, he would have been able to overpower Kizaru and even beat him. Like, look at this guy's supposed to be 78 years old. Imagine if he was 20 or 30 years younger. Literally just drop your sword and walk away, have a nice day. There's no point in fighting this guy if he was younger. And we're still not done with the feats. In the same fight, he showed off some insane observation Haki and even senses. He was able to stop light form Kizaru from getting to the Straw Hats. Now when I say light form Kizaru, yes, Kizaru was always in his light form, but I'm talking about him going into like a beam, a straight beam, you know, imagine a straight beam of light. He's trying to go into that form, but then Rayleigh literally stops that. First off, it may look like Kizaru's going slow, because in the manga and the anime, they slow it down so we can like perceive it, but you gotta think of Rayleigh. Before even blocking it, he had to perceive it, then he had to react to it, then he blocked it. Now this next scene is anime only, but I'm gonna use it anyways because we don't really get to see a lot of Rayleigh in the story, and I believe this is episode 870, right before Luffy goes into Snake Man versus Katakuri. And that's Rayleigh, Dark King Rayleigh versus Gear 4th Luffy. The same Gear 4th Luffy that overpowered Doflamingo. Rayleigh with just one punch, this is not even with his sword, had Luffy flying through the air and slamming into a mountain. Now if you compare that to what Kaido did to Luffy, Gear 4th Luffy, at the beginning of Wano, they're sort of similar. So what I'm trying to get at is that that's old Rayleigh, that's not even prime Rayleigh. He would have had Luffy knocked out the same way Kaido had Luffy knocked out. And in the same scene, Rayleigh dodged every single one of Luffy's attacks. He wasn't even able to hit him once. Now there's one particular scene in the anime that wasn't in the manga I want to use, and this was a feat done by Rayleigh in his prime, and that is when he blocked Marco with just one finger. Even though this is young Marco, the very fact that it only took one finger to block a strike from a mythical Zoan speaks volumes. And in the same battle against the Whitebeard Pirates, Rayleigh was just chilling. From what it looked like, he didn't even break a single sweat. Just like how the Straw Hats were made to look practically useless in Sabaody, Marco was made to look the same way against Prime Rayleigh. As far as it goes, I'm taking this as canon in the story because we know Toei was given permission to add onto scenes that weren't completely fleshed out properly in the manga. Now as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, we haven't seen Rayleigh use advanced forms of Haki yet, but I think we can all confidently assume he has advanced observation and advanced conqueror's Haki. I understand that you literally don't need to say that you're using the power to be using it, because we know, like for example, advanced armament or even armament Haki in general, you don't need to literally have a black arm.
What do you mean by that?
That's just for us readers, but characters could be using it at any time and we wouldn't even know unless it's said, or you know, we get the black lightning or whatever. And me personally, I think he was able to show off his advanced observation Haki against Kizaru, one of the fastest characters in the series. It would only make sense that you would need either equal speed to Kizaru or advanced observation Haki to compete with him. When it comes to portrayal for Rayleigh, he's compared to the likes of his captain because he's the right hand man of the Pirate King, and even his captain Odin's rival Whitebeard. Even Garp knew not to send his men after Rayleigh. He was known literally all over the world. Even all the Straw Hats knew who he was. Except, of course, Monkey D. Luffy, who was hiding in a forest for a good like 17 years and he was kinda on the stupid side of things, you know, but unless you're Luffy, you knew who Rayleigh was. Even Sanji acknowledges that everyone has at least heard his name once. Nami also says that his name is mentioned in many books. Remember when I said he even has Yonkos shaking in their boots? I wasn't kidding. Buddy had Blackbeard, a man with 2 devil fruits, looking like he saw death itself. Keep in mind though, this is old Rayleigh. Rayleigh's presence alone is what kept him from being in a confrontation with Blackbeard, which he admits he probably would have lost, but once again, that's because of his old age. Rayleigh again was sort of implying that if he was younger, he would have been able to stand his ground against a Yonko of the sea, and not just any Yonko, a man capable of eating more than 1 devil fruit. I think with all these feats, in my humble opinion, it's safe to say that Prime Rayleigh is a Yonko level character. Like any First Commander character you can think of right now, Prime Rayleigh clears. Even Ben Beckman. Prime Rayleigh could literally contend for the top 10 strongest characters of all time. If Rayleigh was in his prime today, I could see him rivaling the likes of Shanks, Mihawk, and even Kaido. Me personally, I think Shanks and Mihawk are stronger than Prime Rayleigh, but if he were to fight either, it would go to an extreme diff, which means the Roger Pirates had 2 to 3 Yonko caliber characters, cause apparently Scopper Gaban was Odin's equal. The only thing left that we're missing from Rayleigh would be his bounty. Even though bounties don't necessarily equate to strength, they're a good baseline to sort of judge how strong a character is. The very fact that he's a right-hand man to Roger, he was there from day 1. I'm guessing that Rayleigh's bounty is in the 4 billions. I think minimum 3.8. He might even have the same bounty as Mihawk, but I think it makes more sense for it to be in the 4 billions. Anyways though, let me know in the comment section down below how strong you think Rayleigh is and whether or not you agree or disagree with my take. So make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.